time a little bit because look, I pre-pressed it at my notch in half. Look, what happened? I'm missing some. You see? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let out some of the seam allowance. I'm teaching you how to fix things while you have it already sewn. That's why I don't pre-press a lot of things because of that, because I can cheat later on. Because you do have to cover the stitch, right? You have to cover this line. So I'm going to do that. I will only sew up to the first clip. Okay, please do that. And this method is only good for lighter fabric, okay? Don't do it on heavyweight, not gonna work. That's why we're showing you method A and B, because of that. Method A is no good for thick fabric. So write that down, because you will be very hard. You'll see why when I finish it up, why we cannot do it using heavyweight fabric, okay? You will understand when I finish. So what you're gonna do is try to barely catch, okay, feel the ridge of your stitching underneath, and sew as closest to the edge as possible on your top ridge, only to the top, where you clip, okay? So that's, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip it on this side, and I'm going to play around with the corner. So you should, by the time, you need to play it a little bit. Go, see? I formed my corner. It's not even yet because I'm going to tweak it. See, look. I just fold it here, like 45 degrees. Usually it works. Let's have a look. I did it many years, so it should work. There. Okay, look. I got my little top. Okay, look. Right? So make sure when you flip it, the underneath part is not really ugly looking, because it'll look like this underneath. It's okay, because if you look at any other shirt, men's shirt, that's what they look like. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to tweak it so it's centered. In other words, you want the center. Most people, when they do this, the rooftop, as I call it, is not centered. In other words, when I put a ruler, that needs to be right in the middle of these two things, the measurement of these two things. Okay? So maybe like this. Let's see. I think it's still not quite right. You need to kind of play around with it until it is exactly in the center. It is right now in the center, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to also sew the other side. You have, up to you how you want to do. I think I would rather sew the other side up also to the notch, okay? So we're going to do it. We just want to make sure that our placement is correct before we sew the other side. Okay, I would do that. I wouldn't sew it all the way to the clip just in case you have to tweak it a little bit. It's all about tweaking when it comes to sewing, by the way. Not necessarily you'll be a great cutter, right? What if something really I've seen, when I was working in the industry, I see my sample maker, the thing will cut like crap, but she managed to tweak it to look like beautiful. So it's all in the sewing now, that if you can kind of tweak it here and there, you understand how it works, then your end product will be good, even though your cutting is not so hard, okay? We can't all be great cutters. I've seen some cutting, oh my God. We call it cabbage. What that means, and when you cut it, it's all over. My sample maker calls that. So now I only have to worry my top, right? My roof top. Now I'm going to work on my roof top, making sure that is good. Making sure there's no clips here. Like that's why you have to clip at the beginning. Making sure this covers it. It's very thick, as you can see. That's why I don't recommend this to be a very thick fabric, because you have all this to deal with underneath. I'm still not happy with my rooftop, so we need to kind of find a place that it looks good. We need to move it out a little bit. So the roof, let's have a look. Center? Nope, not center. There. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to sew it up. I'm going to go through the iron and iron it, making sure, like I said, the rooftop is centered. It's just off by like a tiny little smidgen. It drives me crazy. So I'm going to move my hand